Hi, this is James Shrug at Westpac with our London end of day report for Wednesday, June the 6th. Now, the equity markets in Europe had a stellar session today with gains approaching 3% in most of the major markets. There was a sense pervading the air today that European policymakers were starting to get together a bit more with a plan for resolving, or at least attempting to resolve, the sovereign debt crisis. I think that followed from G7 comments earlier this week, and also hope that the ECB might do something today or soon in terms of cutting rates and other non-standard measures. The ECB didn't cut rates today, and that actually did see markets temporarily lose some of their fizz, but when the ECB president said that a few council members actually had wanted to cut rates, whereas in the past, earlier this year, he was saying that interest rates weren't even discussed. That did provide a bit of a chink in the door, a crack in the door in terms of perhaps a rate cut being delivered next month or a little bit later in the third quarter. Also, the President said that risks had increased to the downside to the growth outlook. They didn't revise their growth forecast, somewhat surprisingly, compared to 3 months ago, but the risks around that forecast had increased to the downside, related to a range of factors, including the possibility or the risk that the crisis isn't resolved, which we certainly don't think it will be anytime soon. That was but then markets, as I say, continued their positive run. There's been perhaps a case of fitting the story to the market development with talk of further Fed stimulus hitting the wires as well. We've got Ben Bernanke speaking tomorrow, and also the Bank of England decision. So there's potential for further stimulus to be enacted, or at least hinted at, in those two jurisdictions as well. So at the end of European trading, the FTSE, which of course was closed for a couple of days, opened today for the first day this week, up 2.4%, French market up 2.6%, the Germans up 2.2%, and in Spain a 2.5% rise, and Italy up 3.5% today. At the US lunchtime, the Dow's up a pretty solid 1.8% as well, at 12,341. No major US data yet, although we do get the Fed's beige book in about 2 hours' time at 7 p.m. London time. That's their regional assessment of how they see the 12 Fed districts performing individually and collectively. In commodity markets today, the copper price was up 2%, oil prices up 1.9%, looking at $85.85 a barrel, and gold up 1.3% today at $1,637 an ounce. So positive equity market sentiment, positive commodity market sentiment, and of course positive Aussie dollar sentiment as well. The Aussie rose from 97.5 cents before the release of stronger than expected Australian GDP figures yesterday, and then continued to benefit from the positive policy sentiment this side of the world, and actually it's trading at 99.03 at the moment, so up 1.5 cents since the release of the GDP figures on Wednesday. And that's about it from me for today. I'll be back again tomorrow. I was away, of course, for a couple of weeks, but back on deck from now on. Okay, speak to you tomorrow.